Hey everyone, okay, so we're going to do a back to front tutorial. TikTok. So, but before that, right this second, like right now, live now, my lip collection launches on Beautylish. So I'll leave a cheeky little link in the description bar. But it launches right now. The minute this goes live, it's gone and bloody well launched. Okay, we'll get on with the tutorial. Link down there. Hey everyone, okay, so today we're going to be doing the TikTok, I don't even know what that really is, but the TikTok backwards foundation tutorial thing, which is where apparently you do everything allegedly backwards. So I've got a clean and shiny face. So the first thing we do is moisturize. Now, moisturizer is first. Doesn't sound that backwards to me. And we're going to just pop this all over the face. So we look gorgeous and heavenly. Okay, so moisturizer first. Now, the next step is to apply powder. Hang on. Okay, so Alexa's just kicking off in the background, but never mind that. So hang on a sec. Shushy now. Didn't I do a video about 6 years ago with putting powder on before foundation? I think I did. Okay, so we're going to put powder on, and apparently you need to use a little bit of powder. So we're going to pop some powder on and use a puff, and we're now going to powder the face. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Bet I'm going to look stunning at the end of this. Okay, so powder is on. I could probably, let's be honest, do with a bit more. Oh, I'm going to deal with that pink ear in a minute, I can tell you that much. Okay, so now we've powdered. What's next? Let's have a look. So, setting spray is next. So, let's have a shake, and we're going to apply setting spray to, oh that hurts, I've got tennis elbow. We're going to apply setting spray to the face quite a lot, and then we're going to let it dry and see where we go. So, setting spray dry. Now we go in with primer, and we're going to apply primer all over the face using a great primer here because it's a really good primer. And we're now going to go over everything we've just done. So what you can feel while doing this, you can feel a combination of tackiness and dryness, and that's from the powder, obviously, and of course from the setting spray. We knew we'd get there in a minute. Okay, what's next? Now you put foundation on. Now, apparently, when you've done this, your foundation will last the entire day. So let's see. So I'm just going to apply some foundation. I'm going to start right on my ear. Jeez, look how pink that ear is. I mean, and God knows what just fell out of it as well. Whatever it was. I don't think it belonged in there, that's for sure. Thank God this is my foundation. Couldn't be using this on someone else now, could I? Give them glue ear or something. I don't even know what that is. Okay, so we're now going to go in and apply foundation all over the skin until we look absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. So I want to apply a realistic, because my idea of foundation and yours may be completely different. My idea of foundation is like barely anything, but we're going to do a realistic application of a foundation, at least for this tutorial. So I will apply it heavier than I normally would, but not so heavy that we frighten small children that could be watching this with their parents. I always find Doing it on someone else is fine, but when you do it on yourself, I always find the nose just a pain in the tits. I just find it really awkward and just not a fan, just not a fan. Okay, so let's see where we are. Now remember that apparently there's no powder after this. Now if you remember in my tutorial where I spoke about using powder first, then foundation, then a layer of powder. And the reason for that is it's really for those of you with very problematic skins that become very, very oily. And you have that longevity then of 2 sets of powders. But apparently this doesn't call for that, but we'll see. Now, according to the TikTok thing, see, I've now got a really itchy nose and I want to scratch it. I'm going to scratch it. Thank you. Okay, so half my face just peeled off there. That's the best thing about using tretinoin. You can always be certain that your face is going to fall off at the slightest touch. Fabulous. Okay, I think that's pretty covered and it doesn't look too... Oh my God, I want to itch you. I'm going to. Okay, so that's let's have a look. So my problem with this is not so much the application in terms of doing things differently. I think that's absolutely cool. My only problem is leaving it at this point. I just think leaving it at this point, you are going to have a more dewy look, but you do need to just reset it. So what I'm going to do is there's basically nothing on this now, but I'm just going to kind of just knock it off on the back of my hand and just to ensure it's just to ensure that it does stay. I mean, generally speaking, I think you could have just done moisturizer, primer, setting spray if you really wanted to do it that way, powder. You know, it's the powder that's doing the bulk of it. The setting spray is great for adding longevity, but it tends to work better after foundation. But the effect here is really nice and it looks, and I'm not used to this amount of foundation, but it does actually look quite dewy. So we're just going to add a bit of color and then we'll chat. So we'll just add a little bit of color, just because otherwise foundation, no matter how gorgeous it is, you just look, you want to get time off work. Well, not now, but in general, just go in wear foundation. They'll be like, oh, you're all right. No, I'm not. Not well. Need time off. Okay, let's add some color. I'm just obsessed with adding tiny bit of blusher on the bridge of the nose and just a little tiny bit. I just think it pulls everything together. There we go. So, generally speaking, you get quite a radiant finish from this. And that really isn't from it's really from the setting spray, because setting sprays are notoriously shiny. They prolong makeup wear, absolutely, but they give a very dewy finish to the skin, and it can be quite problematic because a lot of people don't want that incredibly dewy look to their skin, particularly if they're very oily, which a lot of people are. I am, and I don't want that oily look because I'm going to get that in a couple of hours time, so I don't need to add it in now. I can just wait for it. But that's really what gives more of the shine to the face. But it is the finish is very, very nice. Granted, I used products that I know are going to work well. MAC Full Coverage Foundation, probably the first foundation I ever spoke about here on YouTube. So all the products work very beautifully that I've used, but it's a good routine. Should you bother doing it? I really wouldn't. I would just go and, if you want to do it, just follow the original. Just put some powder on after your primer, then apply foundation, do another coat of powder, and then seal it. You could add sections of setting spray along. You absolutely can, and that works great. And I'll show you a sandwich technique in another video. But it's pretty good. Let me know what you think in the description bar, and I'll see you all gorgeous people next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.